Hello everyone, we have Olgath, the new Hypogean hero. So Olgath here is going to be a Hypogean like the patch notes said. We also have an agility based hero with the class being a ranger and the primary role is continuous damage. So we're getting a ranger, agility based ranger here again. And let's start by looking at the ultimate skill here, Infernal Bombardment. Olgath leaps into the air with Death Knell and fires an infernal shot at each enemy in turn until all enemies have taken damage from the skill one time or there are no targetable enemies. Olgath will fire at least 5 and at most 10 infernal shots at each time the skill is used. He is invincible while firing. Infernal shots consume one loaded shell of each type, which will be fused together and fired at the target, dealing AoE damage equal to 250% of Olgath's attack rating and triggering the effects of the consumed shells. If no shells are consumed, only the AoE damage will be dealt. Level 2 Olgath and Bombardment continues until all enemies have taken damage from the skill one time or there are no targetable enemies. He will fire 5 to 15 infernal shots each time the skill is used. And level 3, increasing the number here to 2 times, and also he will fire 10 to 30 infernal shots each time the skill is used. So firing infernal shots at enemies, probably dealing quite a bit of damage with that, dealing quite a few shots here, 5 to 10 at most infernal shots there. Also looks like doing some AoE damage as well, 250% of Olgath's attack rating there. So that's very nice, doing even more damage. Yeah, that skill looks pretty good. Also, he's invincible while firing, so that's very nice to see, being invincible. Let's look at the second skill, Slotted Shell. Olgath creates a ball of scatter shells, sharpnel shells, or piercing shells in that order. He feeds the ball to Death Knell, loading it with 3 shells of that type, then fires 1 infernal shot. Death Knell can store up to 3 shells of each type. When firing an infernal shot, consuming a scatter shell greatly increases the AoE of the shot. Consuming a sharpnel shell fires 2 extra shots, dealing AoE damage equal to 250% of Olgath's attack rating. And consuming a piercing shell causes the target to lose additional health equal to 80% of Olgath's attack rating. Level 2, when firing an infernal shot, each type of shell consumed will increase the damage of the shot by 20%. Level 3, when firing an infernal shot, the shot does not consume any scatter shells. Each of the other types of shells will increase the shot's AoE. And level 4, each time slotted shell is used, it increases the damage of all subsequent infernal shots by 2% until the end of battle. So it has 3 types of shells here, feeds the type of shell into a Death Knell, and these type of shells do different things here. So you get really 3 different types of outcomes here with the shells. This ability sounds pretty cool there. Let's move on to the third skill, Fatal Fusillade. It is a passive ability. Whenever Olgath hits with a normal attack, he loads 1 shell into Death Knell in the order of their creation. If Death Knell is already loaded with all shell types when Olgath hits with a normal attack, that normal attack will be upgraded into an Infernal Shot. This effect can only trigger once every 8 seconds. Level 2 and Level 3 just reduces the time this can trigger. Level 3 reduces it down to 4 seconds, so decreasing the time by half. And then we have the first Engraving skill with Level 4. Each time an Infernal Shot hits, Death Knell will be loaded with 1 shell of a type that it hasn't already been loaded with. So loading the Death Knell there with a shell that it hasn't been loaded with, so very nice. And moving on to the 4th skill, Cataclysmic Roar, another passive, so this is the second passive. Whenever Olgath receives melee damage exceeding 10% of his max health, Death Knell will roar 3 times. Each roar will stun nearby enemies for a short time and knock them back. This effect can only trigger once every 15 seconds. Level 2, each roar damages nearby enemies for 260% of Olgath's attack rating. 03. For each type of shell loaded into Death Knell, the damage of each roar is increased by 20% of Olgath's attack rating. Cataclysmic Roar does not consume any shells. And the second engraving skill here, Cataclysmic Roar dispels any control effects affecting Olgath and causes Olgath to be immune to control effects for 3 seconds. So Death Knell roaring here, roaring 3 times, stunning nearby enemies, and also knocking them back, so doing some crowd control, so that's very nice. Also, level 2, allowing the roar to do damage, so adding damage to that as well. And also with the second engraving skill, Olgath will be immune to control effects for 3 seconds. So that sounds very nice. He's able to be immune to control effects there. And moving on to the signature item. Deadly Discernment. And when this skill is unlocked, if the number of times all targetable enemies are hit by the ultimate skill meets the condition for stopping the ultimate skill attack, then it will prioritize targets with the lowest current health, plus 10 after Olgath's Infernal Shot have consumed all shell types. His attack rating will be increased by 5% up to 20% until the end of battle. The plus 20, when it's unlocked, after Olgath's Infernal Shots have consumed all shell types, his attack rating will be increased by 5% up to 40% until the end of battle. And then plus 30, if an Infernal Shot is unable to deal any damage, Death Knell will regain all consumed shells. Yeah, that plus 30 sounds pretty good. If you're unable to do any damage with the Infernal Shot, Death Knell will just get all the consumed shells back that it wasted, so that's very nice, getting all those shells back. Also, increasing the attack rating here when the Infernal Shots have consumed all shell types, increasing the attack rating up to 40% with the plus 20. That's quite a bit of an attack rating boost there. Yeah, this signature item sounds pretty good. Let's move on to the exclusive furniture. Loaded for Bear, with the 3/3, each time a shell is loaded onto Death Knell, it permanently increases Olgath's accuracy by 10 points, up to 80 points until the battle ends. And a 9 of 9 Death Knell will be loaded with 3 of each type of shell at the start of battle. So increasing the accuracy of Olgath up to 80 points. Increasing the accuracy sounds like quite a bit of accuracy points to gain here. 80 points. And also the 9 of 9 sounds very, very good. Loading 3 of each type of shell into Death Knell at the start of battle, so immediately Death Knell will have 3 of each type of shell loaded into it. Yeah, this 9 of 9 sounds very useful. I really like that 9 of 9 furniture. And let's move on to the Arena of Trials. Already looked at the engraving here, so let's move on to the Arena of Trials. Okay, I'm going to start with the wooden dummy here. Let's go ahead and see how the skills look here. And I'll turn down the ×2 speed. And he has a little bar above him. I'm guessing that that means just what the Death Knell is loaded with. That's what I'm guessing anyway. That just shows what the Death Knell is loaded with, but I'm not quite sure on that. The little bar above Olgath here. Seemed to do quite a bit of damage with that ultimate skill. Yeah, that ultimate skill does quite a bit of damage. Yeah, doing his ultimate quite a bit here, it looks like. Wow, he's up there for a long time there as well. And doing the ultimate ability again. If you can keep him, if you can keep Olgath up there, you could just continuously do his ultimate ability. That would be very cool. Yeah, overall looks pretty powerful there with the wind dummy. Let's go ahead and look at this Arena Guardian here. See what heroes they give us here for the Arena Guardian. Okay, I'm gonna try this team formation here. We have quite a bit of support from Palmer and Rowan here, and I'm hoping that Rosaline goes and follows Olgath. And then we have Athalia there. I'm going to try to take out Oden here as fast as possible, because I know Oden does quite a bit of damage. Okay, that one went down very fast there. Let's see how well everyone did. And Olgath doing a lot of damage, over 9 million damage there from Olgath. And yeah, and Thalia did die, but Thalia took most of that damage, so very nice that Thalia took that damage. Yeah, but that damage from Olgath though, 9 million, that's quite a bit. And with Olgath being a ranger and a agility based hero, I was hoping that he wouldn't die at the very beginning, because I know rangers and agility based heroes, most of those just walk into battle and die, but Olgath doesn't really do that, so I'm not quite worried about Olgath here dying, because he doesn't go into the battle, he doesn't walk right into enemies. Yeah, that's very nice to see from Olgath. Hey, if you made it this far into the video and haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe. And if you want to watch my newest video, check out the video that's on screen now. And thanks for watching.